Hey, this is Ramon Phipps with the detail, and I am out in nature right now. I'm just finishing up one of my morning runs, and I caught myself here because I want to de stress. And it got me thinking, what is the deal with stress anyway? Are so many people so afraid of it? Why do we try to avoid it so much? I mean, even when I try to teach people about stress in relation to mindfulness, it's not this effort, mindfulness, I mean, to try to escape our stress, to try to alleviate it 100%, but more so to understand it, to manage it, and to eventually learn how to control it. Stress is, in my personal opinion, such a huge benefit to the human mind and human body, but yes, it can be overwhelming. One of my favorite recovery based quotes is, "It's not the stress that kills you, it's your response to it." And looking at that, we also want to look at how stress has been beneficial in our lives. Like, for example, some people are the type to need their back against the wall in order to do a test or to perform the best that they possibly can. Even when we go through hormonal stress, if directed into the right places, it's one of the best gateways towards productivity that the human body can actually achieve. What does that actually look like? Well, just imagine any of your favorite sports athletes, whether it's LeBron James on an NBA court. There's a thing called the zone. The zone is a very interesting place because it's a place where we in our mind are hypersensitive, hyper aware, and it only comes from us dialing into our stress. That same type of stress is that same stress that leads us towards panic attacks and anxiety attacks. Yet, in an athletics place, it finds its home and it finds its point on a pedestal where it's more than important to achieve, but it's important to learn how to master it. Stress is very good for you. Being in nature reminds me of our ancestors when they were hunters and gatherers living in nature. Their only task in the world was to make sure that they survive on a daily basis, whether it be through hunting or whether it be through gathering food and resources. But that in itself is amazing to look at too, because we were always stressed on a moment by moment basis. Only when we slept or, of course, celebrated, those moments of stress would subside for a bit, but everything was based on survival. Yet, survival wasn't this whole journey, this whole experience of us always just pulling our hair out, yelling and screaming, asking, "Why me? Why am I so stressed?" Nowadays, we try to run away from it way too much, and I'm asking you, I'm telling you, don't do that. If you run away from your stress, then you're never going to be able to manage your stress. And if you're never able to manage your stress, then you're always going to be overwhelmed by your stress. Learn to embrace your stress. Sit with it. Sit with it in nature. Sit with it while you're home alone, while you're laying in your bed, but not just sit with it. Enter into processing because you can eventually change the way that your body responds to stress. This is what neuroplasticity does to us. Every time we adapt to a new situation, our brain changes so that it meets a new condition. And if we're able to now look at our stress as this thing that can be a malleable tool for us to actually improve as human beings, then wow, you've gained mastery. Something that we've lost through hundreds of thousands of years of civilization, but you gain mastery over stress and what you can use it towards. What can you use it towards? Well, the easy one would be productivity, being able to achieve or complete a certain task, work your hardest, direct it towards your ambitions, and everything of the sort. Yes, these are the great things that you can use stress towards, and I definitely encourage you to try to pursue those things. However, sit in here right now in this moment. Ask yourself, what is your overall response to stress? And can you learn to react to it with more awareness rather than running away from it? Try meditations. They're a good way for you to gauge where your overall underlying baseline stress is. For some people will get angsty and their thoughts will run through their mind and everything. And yeah, it's very telling of how you respond to stress. So try a meditation or two. It's a great way for you to see where you are, but also practice and progress to higher degrees so that your ability to manage stress is always going to be forward moving. This is a short little mindful check in with the detail Ramon Phipps. Like, comment, and subscribe. if you enjoyed this content. Stay tuned for more. Every Wednesday, we try to bring you something nice and organic, just like this. Goodbye for now.